Hi, I'm Elizabeth Spring,
And I am Claudia Trivelas.
and today we're talking about Gemini.
And Gemini, the sun is in the sign of Gemini, generally from May 21st to June 21st.
Mhm.
And Gemini is a mutable air sign ruled by Mercury.
So, when I think of Gemini, I think of bridge building and communication,
Yes.
connection, information gathering. But the core, I think, to Gemini has to do with being curious enough and to acquire a sense of wonder.
Yeah, I like that interpretation of Gemini because I think Geminis are totally misunderstood.
Well, being one,
Being one.
you might.
And the reason for that, in my mind, is because Mercury takes on the nature of the sign it's in. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so that you have three different kinds of Geminis, because Mercury can only be 28 degrees from the sun. So you've
Right.
got people with Mercury in Taurus, Mercury in Gemini, and Mercury in Cancer.
Yes.
And each are very, very different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mercury in Taurus is a much more steadfast, and not as flitter. They don't flutter around as much. They're not as they're much more organized.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So if I've some more kind of bullet points that I think of when I think of Gemini is that they hate boredom and too much predictability. There's this curiosity that Gemini is meant to nurture for themselves. But with all of this, too, the nervous system can get taxed because there's a lot of busyness, a lot of activity going on. And Gemini can deal with chaos and confusion better than any other sign. And they can multitask better.
They're very
Right?
good at
Right.
multitasking, very good at being able to do two things at once. But I think especially a Gemini with Mercury in Gemini, it's the one who gets
Right, right,
really the
right.
rap in terms of being more flighty than some of the other Mercury rule, Mercury placements.
Right. They can Gemini can be restless and kind of a juggler, juggling ideas and people and time, and better than any other sign can do it, though.
Well, don't forget the mutable.
Right.
It's a
Right.
mutable sign.
Right.
It's
right.
an air sign, so they're interested in communication
Yes.
and they're adaptable. Mutable signs are more adaptable.
Yeah. Yeah. And they can really do a lot with that bridge making ability that they have between people and ideas and whatever they're immersed in. And some people kind of say, they'll say, oh well, she's a Gemini, a social butterfly. Think about butterflies for a minute. A butterfly goes in a huge transformational process from being a caterpillar to a butterfly. There are a lot of deaths and rebirths, a lot of growth to this. So butterfly is not such a bad image for Gemini.
So that kind of contradicts the rap that Geminis get about being superficial.
That's right. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a busyness, there's a sociability, a youthfulness about them,
friendliness.
Yes.
Geminis will usually be friendly to strangers. They'll, initiate conversation very often.
Yeah, and I do think that Gemini can be kind of commitment shy at times.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
Okay, good. Tell me.
Well, I think they are preserving their freedom, if you want.
Yes.
Rather than say commitment shy.
That's a better way to put it.
Right.
Freedom is very important, isn't it?
Right.
For Gemini. Also for Sagittarius.
And yes.
Yeah.
I think it's important for all the mutable signs at some level. But specifically more for Gemini and Sagittarius.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add about Gemini?
Well, I think Geminis can be they're very fluid.
Good with languages.
Very good with languages. Very good with the hand movements. Oftentimes Geminis will talk with their hands.
Yes. Yes.
And that might be part of their ability with languages too. You know,
Mhm.
it's more of a full-bodied expression.
Yeah.
So they pick up on
Right.
other languages more easily.
Right. Right. Okay.
But definitely Geminis are bridge builders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The bridge builder of the zodiac. All right. Well, if you have some ideas or comments that you would like to add about Gemini, please include them on the page.
Well, I actually have one more comment.
Yes.
And that is Geminis are ruled esoterically by Venus.
Ah, yes.
So that is part of their desire for communication. It's not just superficial communication. They want to really establish a harmony.
Yes. Yes.
A relationship to the person they're talking to.
The esoteric rulers are interesting. And we have the traditional ruler, and then there's the which is Mercury for Gemini, and then the esoteric ruler, which is Venus. So kind of put all these pieces together, and you get a fuller picture.
Another little piece of information is that the north node of Venus actually is in Gemini.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
We can talk more about that in another time.
Okay. All right. So I'm Elizabeth Spring at elizabethspring.com.
I'm Claudia Trivelas at discoveryourimprint.com.
And thanks for listening today. And leave comments, subscribe. We're gonna keep going.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.